Hello and welcome to the Knitting Traditions podcast. My name is Inga and this is my little podcast corner of knitting today. I have some knits to show you. I'm at the cabin. For those of you who are new here, hello and welcome. If you're a returning viewer, this is a new view of the cabin. This is the living room and hallway. It's a 60 square meter cabin, not very big. I usually record in my bedroom right there, but it's a sauna in there, so I'm sitting in the hallway for a little cooler temperature. I have some whips, I have 3 finished objects, and sorry for the messy, unkept look. I was gardening a bit. I built some raised beds 2 years ago when me and my dad and brothers built the terrace. And I just put some turnip seeds in there in between like the other plants which are blooming, and I'm gonna go swimming in the lake afterwards, I think, because it's really warm. So with that out of the way, if you can say that, I have some whips, I have some finished objects, and I think we'll start with the finished objects because I'm not wearing any knitting today. So maybe the first one I'll show you is the cathedral sweater, which I knit for the catedralkal, which is still running. It's still running for several weeks. I will have all the information below in the description box. I was gifted this yarn from eweknit in Toronto. It was a collaboration of the release of their new book, which is at home right now. It's Making Memories, Timeless Knits for Children, I think is the subtitle underneath the main title, Making Memories, and it's published by Lane Publishing, and they have a lot of sweaters that are, or items which can be knit for children in the book, but they also have individual patterns for adults, like this one. And this is knit in KFO heavymerino, and I knit the size 4. I think I am closer to size 3, but I did want it to be a bit more roomy, and I'm really happy I did. I had 8 balls of yarn for this, and I literally had like a tiny little ball of scraps after this. So it was a game of yarn chicken, and I was knitting the yoke because it's knit bottom up. Quite stressed that I was gonna run out of yarn since I was sent this yarn, but I managed. It worked out, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I am considering maybe redoing the neckline because I did bind it off a bit tight. Not that it's tight on my neck, but I feel it a bit in the front, so I might redo it, but I'll wear it and see if I'm bothered by it or not first. I do have that tiny bit of scrap left, so I could redo the bind off. It's a beautiful pattern. What can I say? The yoke is stunning lace. And the yoke used, I think I had like 2.2 balls left when I got to the yoke, so I was really happy that that was enough. I didn't think it was gonna be, but it was. And yeah, I think it's really beautiful. It's a bit too warm right now. It's a bit too warm to exist for us in Norway. We're not used to this kind of weather. I think like I used to feel like it couldn't get hot enough, but in the last 2 years I feel like my comfort zone is 16 to 22 Celsius with sun. That's like really nice to be outside and inside. The next finished object is another one that I have been working on for a while. And it's this little kids romper, which is from a magazine, which I don't have with me at the cabin, but I do show the magazine in the previous episode. It's an old magazine that I got from my grandmother, so it's no longer in production. I think it was Penguin for this one, or was that the other one? Go back to the other episode if you want to see. But yeah, it turned out really cute. I knit the smallest size. The pattern I think came in 2 sizes, so 0 to 3 months, and then 3 to 6. This is 0 to 3, and it's ready to be gifted to the recipient. I put in some little wooden buttons that I had, and there is a little yarn over thing here to put it through, but I think I could also manage to squeeze this through the I can see, yeah, I can also squeeze it through the, what's this edging called, picot edging, which means that the baby could wear it even longer, because that gives a few more centimeters of length to the straps. So yeah, this one just finished blocking this morning. I put it outside because it was warm and sunny, and this can't really get very bleached by the sun because it's already white, so I wasn't worried about that. So that is one finished object. A third finished object is an object that you haven't even seen. I cast this on and finished it within 24 hours. Damn mosquitoes. I have so many mosquito bites. The Tulip by Melody Hoffman, Bee Mandarins. I have knit this in the adult version before, and she has made this baby and child's version for her daughter. One per year, I think she's made for her, and she's expecting another baby, so congratulations. And I just thought the idea of that was really cute, and I've always wanted to knit some of this for my future children, and I just think for children in general it's a very nice, cute winter's sweater. I knit the smallest size, I think. Smallest size, I think, yeah. I knit the baby, newborn, and it's knit with 2 strands of petite and 1 strand of silk mohair. This is going to be one of those outside in the very cold winter kind of sweaters. And I might shave it a little bit to get rid of the fluff around the neckline, but I don't think it's not coming off the way that silk mohair usually does, because it's so very little in between all the petite. But the petite itself also has some like hairs, so I think I'll go over it and see how it looks. But yeah, it's so cute. I used 2 different colors of petite, one like very beigey and one more like brown heathered beige. I don't know what colors they are because it didn't say on it, but yeah, very cute. I don't know if I have enough petite left to make one more. I will have to wait and see, but yeah, I think it's so cute. And in the back, so for the smaller sizes, the back is split, and I sewed on one of those little buttons that you just push. They have a name, but I don't remember it. I know what it is, just not right now. Brain fog. So that was my third little whip, and so quick, 24 hours. And I used the recommended needles in the pattern to get gauge. I didn't do a gauge swatch. I started knitting and then I measured and saw that it was okay. So it's all good. Next, let's show some whips. So I have been giving a bit of attention to my Setesdal kofte, which is a pattern by Rauma. It's a very traditional Norwegian kofte, and I'm knitting the size large, and I'm using Rauma Finull, which is the recommended yarn. I made a kofte last year that I love, and I wanted to make another one, and I'm using these 2 colors, 0401 and 0461. I don't know why I said O, it's 0. So I use those 2, and I use the recommended needle in the pattern, which I believe is 3 millimeters, but I can double check for you guys. Yeah, it's 2.5 and 3 millimeter needles, and I've gotten quite a bit farther on with this, Now this is size large, but I don't want to make it as long as the one I made last year because that one is somewhat down on my thighs. This one I want to be above. Still didn't get that mosquito. This one I want to be above my butt. So right now it's about 30 centimeters. I might do a few more repeats before figuring out what the next step is. It's supposed to be more than 40 centimeters, but I think I'm gonna stop before 35. I'll have to look against my body and see where it hits me. But last time I had finished the rib and the first part of the chart that you see, and in the last few days I have done these little flea color work, which is very simple really, and you do one row of them and then you do 2 rows of just the background color. So it's moving along quite nicely and mindlessly. So once I do finish that, there will be more advanced color work where I will have to look at the chart. I can't just knit on like I've been doing. So yeah, looking forward to having this as a finished object. It's a steeked kofte, which is regular in Norwegian kofte making that you steek them at the end. I was really worried about the last one, but it went fine, and I'll just finish knitting it, and then all I have left to do is to steek it in order to finish it, and that will kind of push me to do it. So recommend. Let's see, this one is a mess. Oh gosh. So I did a little video about my summer yarns, which I think I should have released by now, I hope. After doing that, I saw in my closet that I had this kit in alpaca linen. If I have one with a ball band. So I had a kit with this yarn. It's from Rauma. It's alpaca linen, 48% baby alpaca, 44% linen, and 8% wool, 175 meters, 50 grams. And I had this kit for 2-3 years. And I just hadn't gotten around to it because I thought of it as a summer sweater, and then in the summer I just never got around to making it. But it's this sweater right here, and I have cast it on. And it's going quite quickly along. Sorry, I dropped it. The name of the pattern is Arles Koseganser. And it says that this yarn is going to not hold its shape. So if you're in between sizes, go down a size. But I mean, I want that big, baggy sweater anyways. I'm knitting the medium. And this one is also knit bottom up. And I have finished the front. So you knit in the round on the bottom and then you split for front and back. And I have finished the front portion. And I'm currently working on the back. And then I'm assuming I'm going to be doing a neckline. And then for this one, you pick up stitches and you knit the sleeves down. So it's less scary yarn chicken than the cathedral sweater because I can just make the sleeves shorter. I think I'm going to have plenty of yarn though, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. But it feels really nice. This is a very nice yarn to work with. It feels really nice and soft. I don't know how it's going to hold up, but I'm assuming it's going to stretch quite a bit, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I am knitting it on, let's see, 4.5 millimeter needles. So it's going, I mean, it's all over rib, you know, you need to purl a lot, but with the 4.5 millimeter needles, which is chunky for my usual needle size, it's going quite nicely along. And I don't think I've done that much on my crochet blanket since last time. I think I've just started this new color. So yeah, I've been knitting a bit more since last time, but it's getting warm again, so this might be getting a bit more love. And it's just granny stripes using scraps of superwash merino and advent from Grenouille that I got 3 or 4 years ago. And then I have a new whip, another gift. This is a romper, and I started this last night. This is the back of the romper, and this is supposed to be folded down and have an elastic band inside of it. I don't know if that is needed. I'm looking for really nice and fun to knit romper patterns, so if you have any idea, please share. I think it's a really nice gift to knit. It's quick and it's something that most people can use. And the designer's name, I think, is Industrick. And I don't remember the name of the pattern, so I'll put it on screen and I'll put it down below. But yeah, very quick knit. I'm using some yarn that I have in my stash from Sandnes garn that I got at the outlet. It's the Sandnes garn babyull lanett. I think the pattern is intended to use Sandnes garn Sunday, but I have this yarn and I really like the colors. They're unisex and I have a lot of it. So I think for all sizes of this pattern, you just need 1 ball of each color. And I think I'm making the second smallest size, the 3-month-old size. So yeah, I'll see how this works. If I like it, I might knit more of these, or I might look for other patterns as well. Ideally, I would like to have one that doesn't need any like icord and doesn't need any elastic, that just involves knitting, like no fuss, no buttons, no zipper, no tying, no elastic, nothing. So if you know of one, please share. Yes, and this is knit on 3mm needles. It's a 28 stitch gauge. So if you have one for a thicker yarn, that's also welcomed, because that will be quicker knits, quicker gifts. Yes, more. I brought some yarn with me that I haven't cast on, but I'm thinking of making the Turtle Dove 2.0 and this bright pink, because I had an episode recently in pink pajamas and a lot of you thought I looked good in pink, so you know, I listened to the crowds. I need a pink sweater. I have one, but I need another one. The other one is very thin. This one will be more warm. So drops air in the color 39. Planning on making the Turtle Dove, I think it's 2.0. It's one that's made for drops air yarn, but I am planning on making the yoke not as deep because I like to be able to put jackets on without the sweater riding up. Not a big batwing fan. And let's see, do I have more? Yes. I have my Kumulus tee with me on my holidays as well. I have not knit on it since I showed it, so I'm just going to show it quickly. I'm knitting the Kumulus tee, the medium size. I am knitting it in Viking garn Bambino, which is my favorite summer yarn blend, 50% cotton, 50% bamboo. This is the color 403, very affordable, very soft to knit with, very soft to wear. Even after washing, it doesn't stiffen up like regular cotton yarn, so I highly recommend. And the reason I wanted to show is because I got 4 more. I have 2 balls left and I still have some of the body to go and the sleeves, but I want to make it into a dress, I think. So I got 4 more. They're not the same dye lot. So for the last ball, which I think was lot number 7110, I'm gonna strand it and do helical knitting with the new one, which is 7112. And I can see that they are different dye lots. It's not very visible, but I can see it. So I'm gonna do helical knitting and then it's not gonna be visible, I think. So yeah, that is the plan for this. I think I'm going to make sure I knit the sleeves in the same dye lot as this, so I don't have to do any stranding there. And then just for the body, do it. And I need to try it on to see how oversized it fits, if I do need to do some increases before my thigh and butts, so it doesn't, you know, stick to the body. I do want to have some movement. So that is the plan on my 3mm summer yarn knit. Last thing that I've been working on is my Setesdal Uruguay blanket. Can you see it? I bet you can see it. I only have this tiny little nugget left, and when I look at it, it looks like I haven't knit anything, but I have knit quite a bit, several hours. It just takes a really long time with this lace weight yarn, which is 800 meters per 100 grams, and I'm knitting it on 3.25mm needles. And I've got it back on wood needles, so if I am flying anywhere this summer, which I think we might be, I can bring this on the plane. That's my plan anyways. And I think I'm going to do 2 balls of this and then 2 balls in white if I feel like it needs to be bigger. So long-term whip right there. That was all of the knitting. I ran through this because it's really warm and I have stuff to do. But I did also do a little bit of spinning up here outside in the sun. I'm still on my first bobbin, but the fiber I'm using is the wool of the Andes, and I have 3 of this and I've started my second one. So hopefully I will have 2 bobbins to then ply together. I need to figure out how to ply them. I do have a sort of a lacy Kate thing, but when I'm spinning, you know, and you're looking at this side, doesn't matter if this side points up or down on the lacy Kate when you're applying them. If you know, let me know, because I don't know. Learning by doing here. So that is it. I am going to keep knitting on the kofte and the rompers, I think, and finish those. And then I think the Arlegenser is a good car knit, because we're going to be driving a bit, as well as the crochet. And then we'll see how far I get. I do need to work a bit at the cabin this holiday. Me and my dad are going to exchange all of the windows, because this cabin was built in the 60s, and we swapped out the fireplace this year. That helped a lot with the heating in the winter, because it's electricity is crazy expensive, so we use this to heat the cabin, but a lot of the heat escapes through the windows, so we're going to exchange all of those. And I think we have all the tools we need. We might need some more materials. The window arrived and I had to dismantle the thing that came off the trailer because he couldn't get it onto the land that the cabin is on, so I had to dismantle it and carry one by one, and then re-drill some wood to stabilize the whole thing because there was a storm. So it was a little bit stressful, but it's going to be good when it's done. And it's nice to have done things yourself. There's a lot of like the feeling of accomplishment when you do something and learn something new is really nice. Kind of the same serotonin kick that I get from knitting when I learn a new skill or do something new. So yeah, that's going to be fun when it's done. And yeah, I hope that you're well. I hope you're having a lovely summer and that you're knitting all the things that make you happy. And I will see you soon. Bye.